The first question is, we have three particles A, B, C, which are thrown from the top of the building. So this is a building, and we have particle A, which is thrown upward. So this is particle A. It is thrown upward with initial velocity u. We have another particle B, which is thrown downwards. So this is thrown downwards. This particle B, it is thrown downward with the same speed. Now we have another particle, which is C, and this particle C is also thrown horizontally. So this C particle is thrown horizontally with same initial velocity u. So all three of them are going to hit the ground. So this particle C will take this path, which is a parabola. So C will hit here. So when C will be hitting the ground, you can see that when C will hit the ground, you can see that it will have speed see when this particle C is going to hit the ground, what is the direction of velocity? That is tangential. This is the direction of velocity. This is the direction of what is speed? Speed is nothing but it is the magnitude of velocity. So this C particle will have velocity vc, and it will have velocity in two components. Means the velocity of C along the x-axis, and this is velocity of C along the y-axis. Okay. So how do we get this the resultant Vc? See, velocity is a vector quantity. So how vector quantities are added? They are added by parallelogram law. Vector quantities are added by a parallelogram law, which is very easy. See, you have to add like two vectors, this vector A, this is vector B. So you are supposed to add these two vectors. So how you will be adding it? Suppose this is a force 3 newtons, and this is also force 4 Newton acting on the particle. So we have particle over here, and I apply 3 Newton in this direction and 4 Newton in this direction. Okay. But you can say it is being pulled by 3 Newton force in this direction and 4 Newton force in this direction. So what is the resultant force? So to find the, this I have drawn this 3 Newton with the scale 1 centimeter is equals to 1 Newton. So this is 3 centimeter. This is 4 Newton, so means 4 centimeter. Now you can complete this parallelogram, which is nothing but a rectangle here. Now the length of this diagonal is the vector sum of 3 Newton and 4 Newton's force. So this is the resultant vector R. So what will the length of this? This is 4 centimeter. This is 3 centimeter. So what will be the length of this hypotenuse? 5 centimeter. So 1 centimeter means 1 Newton. So 5 centimeter means, so the resultant, the magnitude of the resultant is equal to 5 Newton. So you are adding the two forces, 3 Newton and 4 Newton. Okay, so the object will not go in this direction, will not go in this direction, but it will go in this direction. And the resultant force will be 5 Newton applied on it. So this is how vectors are added. If you are adding simply masses like 3 kg plus 4 kg, you get a resultant 7 kg. 3 second plus 4 second is equals to 7 second. This is how scalars are added, because they have only magnitude. So we can add them simple by simple algebra. But to add vectors, to add or multiply or subtract, we have vector algebra. So there are different rules to add and multiply vectors. So very simple thing, how to add the vectors, just join the vectors by tail. This is the head of the vector, this is the tail of the vector. So join them by tail, make a parallelogram, and the diagonal of the parallelogram will give you the resultant. Then find the length of the resultant. According to the scale, it will be your magnitude. So same is the case here. Velocity is also a vector quantity. So I am going to add this velocity of c in x direction and y direction. So whenever there is an angle 90 degree, you always get this rectangle. So this magnitude is VCX. This will also be VCX. So this is VCX magnitude. This is VCY. So what will be VC? So VC is equals to under the root VCY square, means velocity of C component, means its y direction, plus velocity of C in x direction, square root of it. So always, so here also I have found 5 like this. So what was the resultant here? Resultant was your under the root a square plus p square, means x component, y component. And here also you have found it like 3 square plus 4 square, and that comes out to be 5 Newton. So that's how vectors are added. So for this, I need to know what is VCY and what is VCX. Okay. Now, this was about C we are talking about. So in case of C, the velocity was only horizontal, and that was u. Means ux was your u, initial velocity of C in x direction, and in y direction uy was 0. Okay, so we have studied projectile motion in the last class. You can watch the video if you are absent. So when the object is in air, there is only one force acting on it, and that is gravitational force. That is the weight of the body mg. So that is the Fy, force in y direction. Force in x direction, Fx is 0. There is no force x in uh, x direction. So the magnitude of force in x direction is always 0 in the air. So that is why, because force is 0, so the initial velocity in x direction will not change. So the velocity remains ux. So this velocity, final velocity in x direction will remain u. Okay, so it's not going to change. But yes, what will be vcy? Okay, so vcy means velocity of c along the y-axis. For that we know the formula v is equals to u plus at. Now final velocity is vcy, so this all will be in y direction. So what is uy? In case of c, uy, there was no vertical velocity, there was only horizontal velocity, only horizontal. So that is why uy is 0 plus a y into t. So that will be equal to but we don't know t here, students. That's the problem. So instead of using this formula, we will be using v square minus, because we know, let us assume the height of the tower. Is it given to us? No. So let us assume h as the height of the tower. This height is h. So instead of time, we will be using the formula of v square minus u square. So v square minus u square is equals to 2as. Now students, here we have to take the sign conventions. So which sign conventions we are taking? Like you can even take different sign conventions for A, B, C. You can take same conventions for all three of them also. So that's your choice. So as this, usually we take the direction of motion as positive. So, but it might be confusing for you. So let us take the downward direction as positive direction and upward direction as a negative direction. So downward direction g will be positive. So here a is equals to, so for c we are taking, and in the y direction means downward, it will be vy square. What was the horizontal? The velocity was only horizontal. So vertical was 0 because the c was thrown horizontally only. So initially it was 0. Now 2 into this ay, downward direction we have taken g as positive, so that's plus g, and s is your h. So vy is equals to under the root 2gh. So this will be your vy. And your vx remains the same, that is u. So this is your u, vcx, and vcy is your under the root 2gh. So what will be the value of vc? So vc is equals to under the root vcy. This is your vcy, velocity of c along y-axis, you can take it as c. So that is under the root 2gh whole square plus u square, isn't it? So, and this will comes out to be under the root 2gh plus u square. So this is your magnitude of velocity, magnitude of velocity of c, and magnitude of velocity is nothing but speed. So that's your speed for c. Okay. Now for A and for B, it is quite simple, because in case of A and B, there is only vertical motion, there is no horizontal motion, only vertical motion. So for case of B, when the ball is dropped vertically with velocity u, what will be the final velocity of B? So just dropped with initial velocity u, so Vb is equals to Vb square. Same formula we will be using here. This was for C, this is for B. So no need to write y, because the means it's only in y direction, this motion, only vertical motion. In case of C, it was horizontal as well as vertical, so that is why we were writing both y and x. So Vb square minus v square minus u square is equals to 2gh. Now Vb square minus what is ub? So initial velocity was u, so you can write here u square is equals to 2gh. So this is the velocity of B, sorry. So velocity of B, so this u square will go that side and it will be plus. Now this square will become square root. So you can see that the velocity of B is this, which is same as velocity of C. So this is velocity of C. This same. So this is not velocity, this is actually speed, magnitude of velocity. So this is also magnitude of velocity, which is speed. So the speed of B and C is same. What about A? Students, for A was thrown upward with velocity u. So at the same place, there is a case of symmetry here. When it will come down here, its velocity will be the same as when we have thrown it with in the vertical direction. So in the downward direction, its velocity be the same. So again, you can assume that for this case that the velocity was thrown downward with u. So then it will become the same case, right? So this way VA will also be under the root u square plus 2g. Okay. So you can see that so that the speed, magnitude of velocity. So all three of them have same speed. So VA is equals to VB is equals to VC. Okay, students. Got it? If you have any issues, like you can even watch the video again. Now, the next question. That is question number 11. We have done question number 6 earlier also, but I think now after doing projectile, you can understand it in a better way. So we have question number 11. Two identical balls are thrown vertically up. So this ball A, which is thrown vertically up with, so here the initial velocity of A was V, and ball B is also thrown vertically upwards, and its initial velocity was 2V. We have to, so it will reach height HA, and this ball will reach height HB, and time taken to reach maximum height for A and time taken by the ball B to reach the maximum height. So we have to tell their ratio. We have to tell the ratio of maximum heights, means HA is to HB. What is this ratio? And TA is to TB, time taken to reach the maximum height. So we have to find these ratios. So we have to find T here and H here. Now you have to take sign conventions first. Both the balls are thrown vertically upward. So we take direction of motion as positive. So direction of motion is positive. So upward is positive and downward is negative. So G is always downward. So that is why G will be negative. So U will be positive, G will be negative. So let us find out what will be the time to reach maximum height. V is equals to U minus GT. So for case A, V is 0. And what is U? U equals to plus V because it is upward. So V, and this minus GT, we have already taken G minus, so we have written here minus GT, that is why. Otherwise, V is equals to U plus AT, this is the formula, you know, and A is equals to minus. So we have to find time taken by A to reach maximum height. At maximum height, velocity will be 0. So time taken by A to reach the maximum height, this GT will go this side, or you can take V this side. So that's V by G. Yes. So time taken to reach the maximum height by A is V by G. Okay, students. Now tell me, so here it is clearly shown that the time taken to reach maximum height, this T is directly proportional to V, isn't it? So if you double the velocity, if you double the initial velocity, this time will also be doubled, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So you can directly write, either you write here 2V and you write these 3 steps, or you can simply write TB is equals to 2V by G. Okay?
Yes.
So TA is to TB. So the ratio will be 1:2. So time will be doubled in case of B because initial velocity is doubled. Okay. Now, second part, what about the maximum height? So that is V square minus U square is equals to 2G 2AS. Now what is V? 0. What is U? That is plus V. So V square. Now A is equals to minus G, upward action we have taken positive, downward negative. So that is why S will also be positive. So that is your H. So minus 2G H A. Okay. So minus minus cancelled, and HA is equals to V square by 2G. Okay. So that's the formula, general formula to reach the maximum height, u square by 2g. Now for hb, what will it be? You have twice, so it is, so h is directly proportional to square of the velocity. So if you square the velocity, h will be 4 times, yes or no? Agreed? इसी द u की जगह 2 v की जगह 2v लिख दो तो 4v स्क्वायर हो जाएगा, हाँ या ना?
Yes, sir.
तो दिस इज u स्क्वायर बाय 2g, दिस इज 4v square by 2g. So v square by 4 is ha, so you can write here 4ha. So hb upon ha means ha upon hb is 1:4. So height will be 4 times. So got the question, students? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we have a question, we have question number 19. In question number 19, there is a projectile. In question number 19, an object is thrown at an angle 45 degree. So this is the velocity, draw a tangent. This is the path. This is x-axis. This is y-axis. So this velocity is u, initial velocity, and this angle is 45 degree. Now you will be finding the component of velocity along the x-axis and along y-axis. Yes?
Yes, sir.
So what will be the magnitudes? Like this is 45 degree. Okay. So this will also be 45 degree. Yes. If this is u, this 45, 45, so this is an isosceles triangle. So if this is x, this will also be x. Or you can assume it a, it's your choice. Both the lengths will be equal because this is 45, this is 90, so this will also, so this is an isosceles triangle. So what will be this a? So a square plus a square is equals to u square. 2a square is equals to u square. A square is equals to u square by 2 and a is equals to u by root 2. It means this is u by root 2 and this is also u by. It means this is u, this component will be, this horizontal component of the velocity will be ux. What is the vertical component, students? What will be the vertical component of velocity? Same. U by root 2 this side, this is also u by root 2, so that's the same. U by root 2. Is this okay?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now you have to find the relation between this maximum height and this range. What is the relation between h and r? So students, as I told you that the horizontal velocity remains the same, horizontal speed remains the same throughout the motion, so that the constant speed, so range will nothing but ux into time of the flight. Yes, time of the flight has the same formula to reach the maximum height. What is the formula? U by g. Yes. So here we are time taken to reach the maximum height. So vertical distance is traveled. So vertical distance is traveled. So which component of velocity we are going to take? Uy? Yes. By g? Yes.
Yes, sir.
So what is Uy? U by root 2. So time to reach maximum height is U by root 2. Yes. So what is the time taken for the whole flight? That will be doubled. Yes. This was the time taken to reach maximum height. So to time again, this time will be doubled. So ux is u by root 2 into double this. So 2u by root 2g. So what do you get here? Root 2 is 2. Yes.
Yes.
So 2 cancels. So you get u square by u square by g. So that's your range. Yes. Now what will be your height, students? Height, the same formula for height. Yes, same way you will calculate. It's a vertical motion. Yes, for range, this t we have calculated t maximum vertical motion and then multiplied this by 2. And here again vertical motion. You have thrown the ball up with, thrown this object with u root 2. So the difference is that this initial velocity is u root 2. So what will be the height, students? Maximum height? U by root 2 whole square. Yes, same way you will calculate. So the initial velocity is v here. So initial velocity here is u by root 2 in the along y-axis. So upward action we have taken positive, downward action we have taken negative. Same as we have taken here. So u square divided by 2g. So that's your height. So what will you get? U square by 2 divided by 2g. That is u square by 4g. So what is u square by g? U square by g is equals to r. So r by 4. So that's the relation. H is equals to r by 4, or you can write r is equals to 4h. So that's the relation between the range and the maximum height attained. So we are doing very important questions. As I told you, if you have any problems, you can watch the last lecture of projectile. The video is there on the YouTube. If you have problem with today's class, so those who have skipped the last class, watch the video, okay, of the projectile motion, and then watch it again. So tomorrow being a weekend, so revise your concept well. Watch the previous video and this video again if you have problems in understanding, and do the questions yourself. And as I told you that today you have to do questions 1 to 25 before going to sleep, and tomorrow you have to do question 26 to 50. We have already done these questions. Now you are very much comfortable with these concepts, as we are already doing it for the past 22-23 days. Many of the questions we have already done, so it's simple repetition, and you can ask your doubts tomorrow. Tomorrow we will have a class at 11 a.m. okay, in the morning, and then same time 6 p.m. in the evening. Okay, so before 11 a.m. class, try to do this as many questions as you can. If there are some questions left, you can do them here. So try to do 20-25 questions today, 20-25 tomorrow. Now next question. Question number, let us do a simple question. Question number 17. A stone is allowed to fall downwards initially at rest from the top of the tower. So initially at rest means initial velocity 0. Time taken by the stone to reach the bottom of the tower is 4 seconds. What is the height of the tower? So we have to find this height of the tower. And G is given in feet here. So that is 32 feet per second square. So simple formula, downward motion. So direction of downward motion we take positive. So this is positive, and so G is also downward, that will also be positive. And we have the formula H is equals to, so H is also downward. This is displacement, that is also positive. So H is equals to UT plus half GT square. So U is 0, so this term will cancel out, and you will have H is equals to half into G is your 32, and time is your 4 seconds, so 4 into 4. And this is 8, so 4 to the 8, so 2 to the 4, 4 to the 8, so 32 into 8. 8 to the 16, 24 and 1, 25. So 25 feet, so on. Your G in feet, so H will also be in feet. Okay, students? So that was question number 17. Now we have question number 21. A body on an inclined plane slides 1/4 of the distance. So it travel 1/4. Suppose this hole is S. This hole is S. So this is S by 4, and this is 3S by 4, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So the time taken here is 2 seconds. So further, how much time will it take? This you have to calculate. And this is frictionless. Okay, this is frictionless. Students, do you remember that when means acceleration is constant, the time taken,
Sir, 6 seconds.
okay, see like first second, second second, third second, fourth second, what is the ratio of the distance traveled?
1:1.
1 is to 3 is to 5 is to 7. Do you remember this? Yes,
Yes, sir.
we have done it 2-3 times. So the time taken means the distances travel means the distances covered are in the ratio 1:3:5:7. So in 2 seconds, so you can assume them as x. So if the distance covered here is 4x and here the distance covered is how much then? In next, you have to cover 3 times this distance, right? This is s by 4. Yes. So this is s by 4. This is 3 times s by 4, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So this is 4x. So you are going to travel the distance, that is 12x. So here it was 4x. So you have multiplied it with 3, isn't it? So 3 multiply 4x. So it means how much time will it take? भाई फर्स्ट सेकंड में आपने x ट्रेवल किया, नेक्स्ट सेकंड में 3x ट्रेवल किया, नेक्स्ट सेकंड में आपने 5x ट्रेवल किया, नेक्स्ट सेकंड में आपने 7x ट्रेवल किया. यही तो है आपका.
Yes, sir.
तो कितना टाइम लगा ये? बेटे ऑब्जेक्टिव टाइप क्वेश्चन है. एक क्वेश्चन करने ये इसमें जो है कितना टाइम लगा? बेटे 16 कैसे लगेगा? फर्स्ट सेकंड में आपने x ट्रेवल किया, सेकंड में आपने 3x ट्रेवल किया, नेक्स्ट सेकंड में आपने 5x ट्रेवल किया, नेक्स्ट सेकंड में आपने फोर्थ सेकंड में आपने 7x ट्रेवल किया. हाँ, अरे 2 सेकंड नहीं लगेगा क्या टाइम? जितना आपने कवर किया उसका 3 टाइम्स डिस्टेंस ज्यादा ट्रेवल करना है आपको. 4x ट्रेवल किया है तो आपको 12x करना है ना आगे. तो थर्ड सेकंड में 5x ट्रेवल होगा, नेक्स्ट सेकंड में 7x ट्रेवल होगा. आई बात समझ में कुछ?
Yes. Yes, sir.
सिंपल क्वेश्चन है बिल्कुल. अब उसके बाद अगर हम इस क्वेश्चन को, ये तो था बिल्कुल प्योर लॉजिक बेस्ड आंसर, ये आंसर आपको मिलेगा नहीं कहीं इस क्वेश्चन में. ये बेस्ट मतलब नॉर्मली सब जो है इसको कैसे करेंगे इस क्वेश्चन. ये हमारा ब्लॉक है, ये यहां से यहां आ गया, इसने यहां से it was started and in 2 seconds it has reached this place. So 2 seconds. अब यहां पर कौन सी, what is the speed in this direction? स्पीड क्या होगी इस डायरेक्शन? ये जो डिस्टेंस ट्रेवल किया दैट इज s by 4. तो अगर आपको स्पीड पता लग जाए, और अब आपको करना है 3, इसका 3 टाइम्स. अगर आपको स्पीड पता लग जाए स्टूडेंट्स तो आप पता लगा सकते हैं. और स्पीड, इनिशियल वेलोसिटी यहां आपको पता लग जाए, डिस्टेंस आपको पता है. तो ये टोटल आप इसको ऐसे समझ सकते हैं, बीच की स्पीड आपको निकालने की जरूरत नहीं है. यहां इट स्लाइड्स डाउन, तो इनिशियल वेलोसिटी इस केस में 0, इट जस्ट स्लाइड्स डाउन फ्रॉम द टॉप, स्लाइड कर रहा है, इनिशियल वेलोसिटी 0 थी. अब ये कैसे निकाल लें हम कि इसकी वेलोसिटी कितनी होगी, यानी कि उसका मैग्नीट्यूड स्पीड कितनी होगी. तो स्टूडेंट्स ये जो इंक्लाइंड है ये एंगल थीटा पर, ठीक है। और यहां जो है एक तो हमें जी चेंज हो जाएगा इस केस में, इस केस में जी कितना होगा, हाँ हम फॉर्मूला लगाए एस इज इक्वल टू यू टी प्लस हाफ जी टी स्क्वायर, ठीक है। टाइम हमें पता है 2 सेकेंड, अगला टाइम हमें निकालना है, ठीक है। तो टाइम हमें चाहिए और u क्या है 0, तो ये तो खत्म हो गया। टाइम आपको निकालना है, s आपको पता है यहाँ s/4 है और ये टोटल s है। तो यानी कि आपको g की वैल्यू पता लगानी पड़ेगी कि इंक्लाइंड प्लेन पर g की वैल्यू कितनी होती है। तो g की वैल्यू जो है वो वर्टिकली डाउनवर्ड हमेशा g होती है, लेकिन इस डायरेक्शन में कितनी होगी g की वैल्यू। अब इसके लिए g जो है एक्सेलरेशन वेक्टर क्वांटिटी है, तो ये आपका रिजल्टेंट है जी। इसके दो कंपोनेंट होंगे, एक एक्स डायरेक्शन में एक वाई डायरेक्शन में। जैसे अभी हमने किया था कि भाई एक्स और वाई हमें पता था, तो हमने अभी किया था ना पहले क्वेश्चंस में कि सबसे पहला जो क्वेश्चन हमने किया था कि यहां पर हमें एक्स और वाई कंपोनेंट्स पता थे दोनों, और हमने निकाला था रिजल्टेंट। अब इसका उल्टा है, अब रिजल्टेंट आपको पता है, रिजल्टेंट जी है, तो इसके कंपोनेंट्स क्या होंगे जी के एक्स और वाई में। तो कैसे रिजॉल्व करेंगे, ये आपका डायगोनल हो गया, तो इससे क्या बनाएंगे, एक हम रेक्टेंगल बनाएंगे। क्या बनाएंगे, ये डायगोनल है रेक्टेंगल का जी। तो स्टूडेंट्स ये कंपोनेंट यानी कि ये आपका ये लेंथ है जी, ये और ये आपको बतानी है, ठीक है। ये एंगल कितना होगा स्टूडेंट्स इसमें, ये एंगल देखना कितना होगा, ये एंगल बता सकते हो आप, ये एंगल कितना होगा।
वो सर
हम्म ये एंगल कितना होगा, ये जो एंगल है ये 90 है यहां, दिस एंगल इज 90,
यस सर
ये 90 डिग्री है आपका। ये एक्सटर्नल एंगल है ना इस ट्रायंगल का, ये
यस सर
तो एक्स्ट्रा एंगल इज इक्वल टू सम ऑफ टू अपोजिट इंटीरियर एंगल्स। तो ये 90 प्लस दिस एंगल, और इसका अपोजिट इंटीरियर एंगल्स कौन से, 90 प्लस थीटा। तो इसका मतलब ये एंगल कितना हो गया, थीटा।
थीटा
तो अगर ये एंगल थीटा है तो ये जी जो है ये आपका हाइपोटेन्यूज है ना इस केस में। ये 90 डिग्री एंगल, 90 डिग्री के सामने क्या होता है, जी हाइपोटेन्यूज, ठीक है कि नहीं। तो ये आपका थीटा है, तो ये साइड कैसे होगी, अपोजिट साइड। तो ओपन एडम ओपन, हरी हरी एडम, साइन कॉस टेन। तो ये आपके अपोजिट साइड किसके इक्वल होती है, हाइपोटेन्यूज साइन थीटा। एडजेसेंट साइड किसके इक्वल होती है, हाइपोटेन्यूज कॉस थीटा। ओके, तो अपोजिट साइड इज हाइपोटेन्यूज, हाइपोटेन्यूज इज जी, सो दिस इज जी साइन थीटा एंड दिस इज जी कॉस थीटा। आगे बात समझ में।
यस
तो ये कितना हो गया आपका, ये कंपोनेंट जी साइन थीटा, यानी कि आपका जो जी है वो है जी साइन थीटा। जो जी आप लेते हो इस इक्वेशन में, वो जी किससे रिप्लेस हो जाएगा? जी साइन थीटा से। बन गई बात अब?
Yes.
तो ये आपको ध्यान रखना है अब कि जी साइन थीटा होता है एक्सेलरेशन, जब स्लाइड करता है। थीटा वो एंगल है जिसपे वो स्लाइड कर रहा है। तो फर्स्ट केस ले लेते हैं, एस इज इक्वल्स टू यू तो जीरो हो गया था, तो हाफ जी क्या हो गया आपका इसमें? जी साइन थीटा। इज दिस क्लियर? भाई एस इज इक्वल्स टू यू टी प्लस हाफ ए टी स्क्वायर होता है ना,
Yes, sir.
तो यू तो जीरो हो गया और ए हो गया आपका जी साइन थीटा, भी आपने कैलकुलेट किया। तो स्टूडेंट्स पहले केस में s बाय 4, ये आपने इसको मान लिया s बाय 4 या x बाय 4 मान लो, एक ही बात है। तो ये हो जाएगा 3x बाय 4, ये टोटल x है मान लो। तो ये हो गया आपका s बाय 4 लिख लो या x बाय 4, डेट इज द सेम थिंग। तो x बाय 4 इज इक्वल्स टू, क्या हो गया स्टूडेंट्स? हाफ जी साइन थीटा इनटू टी, कितना आपका 2 सेकंड लगाना x बाय 4 में तो,
Yes.
Yes, sir.
और कंप्लीट x में, कंप्लीट x में कितना टाइम लगेगा? भाई ये तो सेम रहेगा ना, हाफ जी साइन थीटा इंटू टी स्क्वेयर। टी स्क्वेयर टाइम लगा मान लो पूरे में x में। यहां से यहां कितना टाइम लगा पूरे में? टी। टी जो है उसमें से 2 सेकंड माइनस कर देना, तो बाकी बचा हुआ टाइम आ जाएगा आपके पास। अरे हाँ या ना?
Yes, sir.
अब आप इन दोनों को डिवाइड कर दो। हाफ जी साइन थीटा से हाफ जी साइन थीटा कैंसिल, एक्स से एक्स कैंसिल, तो क्या आ गया आपके पास? 1/4 इज इक्वल्स टू 4/t²। तो t² इज इक्वल्स टू 4 इंटू 4,
T is equals to 4. T is equals to 4.
4 सेकंड आ गया। तो टोटल टाइम 4 सेकंड लगा, तो हाफ टाइम कितना लगा इसका? वो मतलब इसका 4 सेकंड में से 2 सेकंड,
2 seconds.
2 सेकंड माइनस कर देंगे तो कितना आया? 2 सेकंड आया, नहीं आया?
2 seconds.
ठीक है, वो हमने पहले निकाल दिया था 2 सेकंड। ओके, चलिए, जो क्वेश्चन आपको नहीं आए ना उस पर अटकना नहीं है आपको, ठीक है? ज्यादा टाइम स्पेंड नहीं करना, जो आता है वो करते चले जाओ, और जो डाउट्स हैं वो कल क्लास में पूछना। ओके, कल मॉर्निंग में 11 AM है अपनी क्लास, ठीक है? चलो, ओके स्टूडेंट्स, थैंक यू सो मच।
Thank you, sir.
और रेगुलर रहो अब इन क्लासेस में। अगर कुछ हासिल करना है तो धीरे धीरे चीजें आसान लगने लगेंगी आपको। अगर एक क्लास अटेंड की, फिर एक अटेंड नहीं की, एक अटेंड की, एक अटेंड नहीं की, तो इससे आप नहीं सीख पाओगे कभी भी। रेगुलरिटी इज इंपॉर्टेंट। अगर प्रोजेक्टाइल का नहीं देखा तो वो वीडियो देखो, पिछला वीडियो, और ये वीडियो जो है वो दोबारा देख लेना फिर, ठीक है? चलो,
Thank you, sir.
ओके, थैंक यू स्टूडेंट्स, गॉड ब्लेस यू ऑल, टेक केयर।